browsers, thanks for sticking to my channel Error Code. In this tutorial, I'm going to teach students how to build their first website or web app in their text editors and run them in their appropriate web browsers. So you're going to go straight to our text editor, and if you have it rightly installed, you're going to have an empty blank space. Now when you move to the top left corner, you're going to see File. So you're going to click on File and going to click New File. Now when you click New File, Sublime Text Editor is going to tell you on title. It means give a name to your file or document you are going to create. So you go back to File and click on Save As. You're going to find a suitable name for your document. Now I'm going to give it, let's say, letme.html. Now in our previous tutorial, we talked about file extension, and we said the four components that makes up a website or a web app is the HTML, the CSS, the JavaScript, and the PHP. Now when you have an HTML file, its file extension that must be saved in is .html, and when you have a CSS file, its file extension is .css. When you have a JavaScript file, its file extension is .js, and when you have a PHP file, its file extension is .php. Now you're gonna click on Save, and there you have letme.html. Now in our previous tutorial, we related HTML to the human body, and we said the HTML is just like a skeleton of a human body. Now the skeleton is what holds the human body. So when it comes to HTML, it's actually what's the structure and everything that the website or the web page sits on. So HTML is basically structures that are visible in our web browsers. Now these structures are systematic. It means that it have a defined way of writing them and running them in your web browsers. So now let's move to the point, and then I'm going to show you one thing you need not to forget, that HTML have what we call tags, and this is what they are. In English, we call them the angle brackets. Now, in every text you're going to write, you must make sure that you put them in this angle bracket or tags, we call them. Now, you need not to write them outside the tags like this. It will make no meaning to the text editor. So now if you have any text to write, you must make sure that you write them in the tags. Now every text that goes here is what we call the element, and the angle, the opening and closing angle bracket is what we call the tag. Now in every HTML, there is this one thing you need to know: doc type. Let me write that in capital letters. Sorry, doc type HTML. Let me write this in capital letters, HTML. Now, doc type HTML only tells the web browser what version of HTML you are running. So we have HTML3 and HTML5. So all what this does is to tell the browser what version of HTML you are running. You can choose to omit this code, this line of code, no problem. Your text, your browser is going to run fine, and you're gonna have no problem. But to be a pro, I think you need to include this line of code in your document. Now in HTML, as we said, it is a structure of the web page or the website. It must be systematic, and what we have, what we call, because it's an HTML document you're creating, you must begin it with an HTML tag. Now in HTML, there's what we call the opening and closing tag. Now every tag you open, you must make sure you close it. So when we have an HTML open, you should close the HTML tag. Now to close an HTML tag, you must make sure you use a /. If you don't use a /, the text editor isn't gonna recognize this HTML as closed. You may think it is another open document that you are going to run. So to specify that this is closed, you must make sure you begin it with a forward slash and an HTML. Now we have opened the HTML here and we have closed the HTML here. The next thing you need to know is the head section. Now the head section must also be opened and must also be closed. Now to close the head section, you must also follow the same procedure and use the forward slash. What am I doing? A forward slash and the head. Now in the head section, we have what we call the title. Now when you open the title, you must also make sure you close the title. Now if you omit any of this head or title or HTML, your code is not going to run fine. Now when we are done with the head section, then we go to the body, and we also put the body section in a tag and close the body section with a forward slash. Now this is the structure of every HTML document, and this is what all your web page or website sit on. Now there's one thing I need to tell you, that when you have a title, when you have a file created, you must make sure you have a title. Now the title will only give more light to your file name. So let's say we are going to create a title as the first web page we built. So this is the title of our document. Now you could see this structure. It is very simple, and this is what you need to begin every time you're going to write an HTML document. This is what you need to do first before you do anything. Now everything that will be visible in your browsers, let's say the images, the links, and the text, must all come in the body section. And as I said, you shouldn't just write normal text, but you should put them in tags. Alright, so let's save this file. Come here and save it, and go to tools and click on build. Now you will notice that you have an empty blank space. This is because we have not written anything in our body section. Now you will notice one thing. letme.html is our file name. So when you come to the browser, you realize that the letme.html is written or is being displayed in the title bar. Here you have letme.html. Now when you go to our text browser, our text editor, you're going to find the title, and the title we specified it to be the first web page we built. Now when you go to your web browser, you're going to see your title also in the title bar. So now if this is well understood, I will be glad to tell you that you are good to go to have your first site being started. If you found this page or this tutorial helpful, please hit the subscribe button or hit the like button to be updated with new videos. Thank you.